All right, welcome to a chat with Batman and Robin. I'm going to go get my Batman mask soon. I have got a Batman mask. I've got a new Nightwing mask.
Have you?
Yeah, funny enough, it doesn't have any bloody straps on it. I've apparently got to stick it to my face. So I got to go get some super glue.
Right.
So, let's go. Well, now here we are. We've done this. We haven't done this for a little while, but we've both been through a little bit, and we're probably still going through it. I think something worth chatting about that people would love to have a hear. Love a hear. That's good English. Love to hear about. Go.
Oh, this is why we're having this conversation, because I think the past 2 months have been very
emotionally draining,
very challenging, and a lot of people's shadow selves have been brought to the surface to look at, especially mine included. And it can be a very lonely place if you believe that you're going through it by yourself. It doesn't even matter whether you believe that or not, because when you're going through certain situations like that, you feel alone anyway, because those emotions that arise within you are real. And no matter whether there's 1,000 people or 1,000,000 people going through the same things, you still have to embody those emotions, which are very uncomfortable for us.
Yes.
So having these sort of conversations helps. It helps allow you, especially when it's with someone that's open to what you're going through and going through the same things. So it allows you to open up, and it also answers your questions for you, because I know when I do a lot of my videos, I'm speaking to myself. as much as I'm speaking to someone,
not wrong.
To the people that watch my videos, excuse me, the information in it is advice for me as well. So it helps illuminate your shadow self even further just by speaking about it. And that's healing in itself. So when you can actually speak about your fucked up self and the stuff that comes up, and how erratic you are sometimes, and how emotional you can be sometimes, when you can speak about that without having that feeling of the person you're speaking about it with is not judging you, and not that they're not just judging you, they're also going through the same experience with you, it's a healing process.
It's nice to have that when you, it's that's a big challenge of mine, because I know I get being a bloody cancer, we take things to heart. And I think a lot of people, I know I get misrepresented a lot, but there's a lot of deep shit is happening and still happening. And oh God. Well, I don't know what this moon's done, but wow. Holy shit.
It's because it's trying to purge us from everything that doesn't emotionally sit with us anymore. It's, you know what I mean?
I think it's going even one step further. There's a book of life that you know what's going on, and oh geez, I'll tell you, oh my God. You got to know, believe in yourself, but there's so much stuff that you go through and you trigger off, and the fears that come in, and fear's only a thought, really, let's be honest. And I think it's basically giving you maybe an outlet, or not even an outlet, an answer to what you really are. And the obvious answers are there. Obvious answers are there, mate, you know? So, yeah.
The answer's always there. It's just that we tend to look past them, or we add resistance to it because it's not the answer that we were looking for.
Do we fear the answer? I don't think so, but I'll tell you what. They love throwing you some fucking curveballs, I'll tell you. Fucking hell, mate.
This is where we have to disconnect from the mind and the situation, because suffering only comes when the commentary of the mind is involved. It's the situation that we are going through is neither good or bad. It just is. It's when the mind starts to label the situation that we're going through as a bad situation. That's when we suffer. So to eradicate suffering, we have to disconnect from the commentary of what we are actually telling ourselves about the situation we're in.
Yes, that's exactly right.
When we can do that, then we can be free. We can be liberated from the mind, the prison of the mind that we are in. So it's a practice to practice becoming aware, becoming observant of your mind first. Become aware of the fact that you are. 1 minute, Jason.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
Become aware of the fact that you are the thinker. I mean, sorry.
We are the vessel.
Become aware of your thoughts, first of all.
Yes.
But also become aware that a lot of people's mind is in control over what is thinking. You are not thinking. Thinking is doing you. The fact that we don't have control over the commentary of what our mind's thinking and how what's the word I'm looking for? How possessed we are. We are possessed by our minds.
Yes.
So we don't even know we think. People are their thoughts. Do you know what I mean?
Well, this is where it comes down to acceptance. Let's be honest. I mean, this is what we fear the most. We don't back ourselves. We're feared about being judged. We're fearing about someone. Okay, say someone close to us. If we say something, they'll think badly of us. But then the other time is, are they really listening as well? And this is the thing, when you come into I know I have a problem with some things. I've come better with describing it, but I keep going on and on and on about it because I don't think I'm being heard. Now, am I going mad and thinking I'm not being heard? Or am I being ignored? Is the subconscious telling me, mate, you're being ignored. You've got to keep going. You know, have you heard? For me, and this is what I've vouched for the last week, have I really been heard? Are people actually friggin' listening? And this is the bloody thing. I mean, and you can go, and people can go, yeah, you should just leave it and whatever. But when it's constantly like, and not being put down or anything, but they're just fucking ignoring because they're just so far up their own ass. Or whatever it may be, whatever fucking thing it is, whether you just want to be ignored, I don't know. But it comes to a point when you don't get heard, you can go, fuck you, I'm off. Or I hope you care about my feelings. Give me a sec, I'll just charge.
Well, let's ask ourselves this. Who hopes they care about our feeling? Who is
us?
But who is us? Because this is where we get to be liberated and set free from the mental prison of the mind, because we're suffering. Who's suffering? The mind's suffering. Why is the mind suffering? Because we've labeled the situation that we're going through as this shouldn't be happening to me. No one's listening to me. Why am I not being heard? Why are we not being heard? That might be the case.
But what can you do? Well, what can you do about it? Exactly what you're saying.
We can do something about it. And the fact that what we can do about it is not label it as a bad situation for a start, because that tends to disconnect the egoic mind to sort of latching onto it. So if we say to ourselves, right, this is not a bad situation. This is a situation for me to grow in, situation for me to find myself, and it's a situation that's going to become a blessing in disguise. So if we go from it from that stance, the mind has less chance of latching onto it as a bad situation.
I'll go to one step further. I'll go one step further. It's a great analogy. I reckon it's fantastic. But like someone, when you're riding I'll say the same thing as riding a bike. It's always have someone you can trust to hold you up if you're going to fall.
Mm-hmm.
You get where I'm going? Because when you fall, you get hurt. And there's no one there to help you. You'd hope that you'd have some sort of trusted person. So if you do go off the friggin' rails, to actually not judge you and say, fucking shut up and pull your fucking head in. You know what I mean? I don't think there's a lot of people who do that because they get so self-defensive on that, you'd like to have, until you get to a point, of course, but it's also nice to have that support in some way. You're not looking for it, but it is nice.
Listen, I 100% agree with you, because that's the mother energy we crave as males.
Bang.
We crave to be mothered.
Bang.
That's our human nature. As males, we like to be smothered. So
well, we're mammals. Let's be honest. Let's go the next step. Let's go into, say, relationship wise, right? If we take out all the bullshit, and I've said this to them, I think I said this the last time we were talking to Sarah and Diana, that we're males. You have a look at two fucking lions. They go up and have a cuddle and leave. That's human touch, human emotion, or a mammal, or say physical touch and physical emotion without people fucking thinking of and labeling the fucking thing. Let's be honest. If it was that easy, we'd
you said you've just said we like to, that analogy with the bike, riding the bike, having that safety net there to catch us when we need to fall. That's what we crave. But listen to this analogy. A mama eagle gives birth to her eaglets. She goes out, feeds them, protects them, mothers them, gives them warmth, right? But then she takes them to the highest peak of the mountain cliff
and kicks them off
and throws them off.
And you got to fly.
And she's not doing this because she's a psychopathic mother that hates her children. She knows some of them might not make it, but she also knows that that is the only way they are going to learn how to fly. That's the only way they're going to learn how to spread their wings on their own. It's through when they're tumbling and they're kicking and they're flapping and they're tumbling and they're kicking and they're flapping and they're tumbling and they're kicking and they're flapping and then they're flapping and then they're flapping and then they're flying. So for all that tumbling and cuts, scrapes, bruises,
we learn how to do it.
We learn how to fly, Jay. And who threw us off the cliff? Our safety net. Our safety net did. That our own mother, that mothering nature that we crave, that we look for, also threw us into a situation out of our comfort zones to make us become self-sufficient enough to be able to look after ourselves.
Well,
that's just an analogy. That's just an analogy.
It's okay. Take that analogy. That's really funny because if I'd been pushed off when I was fucking 5 years old, which I was, if I'd been mentally or physically, not physically, but mentally, emotionally pushed off even before that, it takes a lot because you don't know where you're going at a long time. You're still looking for that safety net because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. And that's pretty much where you're at. And then you get to a point when you get older and you start bringing your emotion and go, why the fuck did this happen to me? All this shit. And then you got to get over that. So it's a big process in a lot of ways. But at the end of the day, as you said, you could either fucking fall down the bloody mountain or you're going to fucking fly. It's one or the other. Oh, mate. But this is how it is. So you get to a point of hurt and whether you can frigging get over it, but you attract, but that formulates your mind and formulates your heart where you're at. And I know for myself, having the black around it and the mind where I was at when I was going through the shadow work. But now it has come forth again. And I can feel it. You can feel the energy, the way the vibration is. But fuck me dead. There's been some serious shit. Holy fucking shit. And it's still fucking, it's, oh, fuck. It's still
I'm with you, mate. And there's going to be hopefully hundreds of people that are going to watch this that are also going to be feeling the exact same thing that we are. And there's going to be millions out there that aren't watching this that are going to be feeling the exact same thing.
What we have to work out, like obviously we can look at astrology wise and all that stuff where the fucking planets sit. Leo's, it's a full moon in Leo. But we also have to look at our own makeup and where we are. I believe there's a combination. We've got our but at the end of the day, all I know is I pulled the sacred space card. Excuse me, that's converted. Good. The sacred spirits card in one of my decks that I use, the Oracle decks, and it's basically saying connect to the earth, connect to the universe. Sorry. And you have to let things go and happen. Let it happen. Now you got to let it happen. These things are supposed to happen. As Greg Riley always said, and Michael said, you're attracting what you're doing. This is a fucking lesson, mate. So get the fuck over it. And usually and I think what happens is, two things for me is, do you back your first judgment, right? Number one. Okay. But also, do we overthink? Fucking oath we overthink. But there's obviously some type of gut feeling. And this is where my problem is it my gut feeling or is it the insecurities or whatever it is beforehand? But knowing that you've done the work, it has to be a gut feeling of things that aren't working.
Well,
or need to be addressed. Let's go. It needs to be addressed.
You're right. It is that, of course, because if we look at it from the things that aren't working that need to be addressed, well, I put it like this: if we're constantly in that state of being where we are healing because of what's happening with the full moon, and sometimes that's out of our choice. Sometimes that will invoke emotions and trigger certain patterns and conditions that
I think you're even better than that, mate. I think you're right. I think it's the flow, mate. I really believe it's the flow of life.
And so they come up. And what Greg and Riley do say is we are vibrational beings. Is this a vibrational universe? We're sending signals out that we're attracting back. But sometimes we create by default, because when these emotions and these deep emotions come up and we embody them and we are feeling these things, then we have no choice but to create more of the exterior of how we're feeling inside. Not that we are doing it by choice.
Yes.
But in order to heal, we have to pass through those emotions.
Yep.
And for a brief moment, our outer exterior reality pictures what's going on inside of us.
You go to a point where you see it. You made a comment to me last week without going through much of the problem, but you said look deep, and you have to look deep inside what's going on. You have to look at exactly what's happening. Why is this imbalance happening? Is it because of the insecurity, or is there a problem? You have to look deep. Is it worth pursuing? Is it worth pursuing, or do you put it to the side? And you made that comment and made a lot of sense. A lot of sense.
like I say, we talk to ourselves. That's advice that I've literally taken after I've said that to you.
Yep.
So we all have to look deeper, but it's harder said than done.
We don't do it. We're scared of it. We are sick. We are absolutely scared of it, I reckon. We are absolutely scared of it. And I think people can't take the truth. And I think that people have to understand also. I think the big thing is I don't think people understand, have the capacity to understand that people are different and understand that people will react certain ways. If you care for someone, you can see they're upset. Okay. I know I've done in my past is I basically, and I can't believe because I'm a bloody school teacher and I'm very good at conflict resolution in a lot of ways, you know. But when you're emotionally involved in something and you think you're being hurt, you go into that defensive mechanism. But this is where it all comes down to. So, yeah, very, very bloody interesting the last couple of months. As I said, we come in. Yeah.
You just said people can't take the truth. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, but what is truth? Because the way you got to look at it is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna get you, Jay. This is gonna get you. Truth is just a belief system, right? It's whatever they believe to be true for that person.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Absolutely.
We know that.
Yeah, that's right.
And no, we know that. So the fact that I sometimes believe or that my partner should believe something that I believe, and let me put it like this: the fact that I think she would think like that, whereas her mind thinks differently. So I'm the problem in that situation.
Because exactly. You're forcing
because I'm creating this image of my partner that I believe that's how she would react. And when she doesn't react, I then say to myself, well, why is she not? Because that's do you know what I mean? And I'm guilty of that. That's what I do.
Yeah, I do it all the time. But I say to yourself, right, and you're exactly right. We're saying that people should understand our point of view, but how can they really understand our point of view without being within our bodies?
Exactly.
But I'll go one step further than that. If the person does give a shit,
100%.
this is the fucking key point here.
Yeah.
This is the fucking key point. But you're 100%. But the fucking key point is, do you care enough about the person to go, okay, that's his point, that's it, or her point, that's it. Yeah. Leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
Is it really damaging? No, because it's not resonating with you. That's why you're cracking the shits. I know myself. But I think going through the last couple of months, I look at it and go, I've got to a point where I think I articulate myself to a point, but when you have emotion within it, you'd like to be acknowledged in some way that you go, okay, yeah, no worries. Don't expect anything else, but say, that's what it is. You're okay.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get that, people go into a freaking downward spiral.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon
because we need to feel the person we are with.
Or even people, even friends.
I'm not talking about the person we're with, as in my partner. I'm talking about the person we are with, like physically there, and then friends, spouse, whoever, children. We need to feel that they do care on an emotional basis, and also not knowing. And also knowing that they might not react in the way that we would, but also show some some sort of empathy towards the situation, because that then shows us that even though they're not reacting or doing it in a certain way we would, or we
No,
would,
and we don't expect,
and we
don't expect that. That's
we don't
exactly right.
expect that.
That's right.
But when there is nothing there, and as being empaths, we feel that shit. So
it's the worst feeling. Like, like, let's go on to empaths then. Let's talk about that too. So if you're in that situation where you're looking for some type of, okay, this is the way I feel. Go, yeah, all right, that's cool. How are you going to go? Let's just, I still reckon you're a beautiful person. Da 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 da. You know, I might not agree with it. I think you're being me of a fucking idiot. Well, okay, you got two things. You got the empath thing, right? Which is fine. You can fucking feel the bullshit. I don't give a shit what anyone says. You and me, I can fucking see it and feel it. And probably for me, it annoys the fucking shit out of me that I can't fucking prove that someone said, okay, someone says to me, oh, the sky is green. You're fucking talking shit, mate. It's fucking blue, mate. Stop talking shit. I can fucking feel it, mate. The vibration, don't fucking tell me nothing's wrong or anything. That's bullshit, mate. It makes it, and then you think, and as a person, I know I've done this over a couple of years, you think, what the fuck are you lying to me for, mate? Or then I've, as I said, going through Greg and Michael, they don't really understand it. Or I still question it, mate. I still fucking question
who are they lying to though? Because they're not lying to us, Jay.
No, they're lying to themselves. They're lying to themselves. But
that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
And let's break it down. Let's break it down. So they're lying to themselves. Why are they lying to themselves? So there's an underlying insecurity there that we obviously don't know.
That's right.
Why they are actually lying to themselves, because we know the truth. We feel, sense, see, whatever the truth. They don't know that. They're saying something that we know is not true, right? So there's a line insecurity there. Yes. What is that? Because that's how we then can forgive and show empathy towards the person that our minds are now saying they do not care.
And this is where you're saying last week, you go to that exactly right. You go, right, you know where they're at. You go, they're reacting because, but then I think the perfect example is it worth going on with it? Because it's still good.
That's the only question you have to ask yourself after that. That's it. Because is it worth going? We're all healing. We're all on this journey.
Exactly.
We have our own insecurities, every single one.
Is it worth going through? Because we have empathy, but when someone doesn't have, whether they and you got to believe, this is where you're saying it comes down, is it worth going? Do they know they don't have empathy, or they lying, or they absolutely fucking lying to your fucking face? And then you've got to make a judgment, I think, as you said, as we feel it. And that's where fucking empaths, mate. Gee, fuck. You know. Hi to our friends Diana and Sarah. You know too.
Hey, my girls. Yeah, mate. I'll tell you what. It's a blessing. It's the biggest blessing, and it's the biggest curse at the same time, Jay.
Fucking oath.
But like I say, it all boils down to, and this is truth about anything, even death. It's how you view death. I view death so much differently than other people. Yeah, it's sad to lose someone physically in this reality, but death to me is just a transition of spirit leaving the body. That's how I view death. So
that's pretty much where
I know. All my past ones may not be physically here with me, but they are more connected to me now than they have ever been, because they're spirit. Do you know what I mean? They're connected to the spirit realm now. So we are spiritual beings. Do you know what I mean? So
I agree with you. And it's a case, I think, going into a deep stuff. Now you have, I think the biggest test for someone, that's where you talk about the Dalai Lama. You look at maybe, say, Greg Riley, Michael McNair, who are at that level. Who else? Oh, fucking
Eckhart Tolle.
Eckhart Tolle, and all those
Wayne Dyer.
Wayne Dyer, bloody, who's the other one? Who's the other lady? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, geez,
Loads.
loads of Louise Hay.
Louise Hay, yeah.
Yeah, loads of people who have gone to that level and I think are calm within themselves to say, if this happens, that's fine. That's not my problem. It's yours. And I think as people, we are trained to fight back. There's an element of fighting back. You got to fight back when you have to. Don't get me wrong. There's always an element of that. Don't get me wrong. But you always say that with the little sayings, pick your battles. But understanding what we understand, where are you at? And then she said to you, mate, yes, as you said, mate, is it fucking worth it? And when you know, and and this comes down to your ego, and is it worth it? The ego comes in. So if you're with a partner, right, you've given your heart and you've given all this, and then suddenly this shit happens, you go, fucking mate, seriously. Is it a wake up call? A friend of yours who you've trusted and they've gone and done other shit, which we've all been through. Is it worth it? And at the end of the day, they usually go to the wayside.
I've put my partner through fucking hell this past 2 months. Old, stupid addictions coming up. And I'm not afraid and embarrassed to speak about my shadow self, because I know when I come out the other end, and it always comes up and people relapse again and again. It's not the relapse that matters. It's what you do after it. And it's what you tell yourself after it. And when you get to a certain situation in your life where enough's enough, which is the point where I believe I'm at now, something is triggered inside of you, which honestly kicks the energy into you to be able to do what you need to get done and to give you the strength.
Do you think do you think you've made a choice for your own health and well-being?
100%. It's you do get to that point. It's like even now, like I'm not eating meat at all as such. I'm more say pescatarian now. I want to be a vegetarian and then come down to veganism eventually, but something that is a working process. But
I've been doing that. I'm pretty much vegetarian. I don't have a little bit of tuna here and there, but I don't eat much. I don't eat much meat at all.
I think we're all being called to purify our bodies and to purify our minds for what's to come. So I think the calls put out there, and I think all the light workers now are being asked to look deep within and heal and get everything that needs to be out.
I go one step further with that. I go, right, we've got the light workers to come to help us, right? But I think for what we've been through, and I truly believe this, and it's very hard at some stage, like you go through nearly half a decade. So I'm nearly 50. And I've had some good times, but fuck, mate, I've had some fucking shit. I mean, you're living with a dark cloud of fucking hate and fucking anger and all that stuff. People said, lighten up. Yeah, you can lighten up and you should be able to lighten up. But when you're living in a fucking, when you just, I think you just got to be in a trusted circle, and your video cut them off, mate. You've got to do that, man. That's the big thing. You got to fucking cut these bastards off, or just be upfront and honest with shit and go, right, what's going on? If someone's bothering you, you have to work out whether, and this is the hardest thing, it's trusting your gut. Are you being petty, insecure, or you have a fucking legit go, yeah, hang on a minute. Now this is not right. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing, I think, with us where we are, because we do feel a lot more deeper in that way. So it's just a learning curve, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm overcomplicating it, as I always over fucking think. I always over fucking think, and then
Mate, that's where the answers doesn't lie in the egoic mind. Because, and the reason why I know that is because when you practice to slow your mind down and your thoughts down, and you can be present in a moment throughout your day and actually see your environment for the first time and be aware and alert and just not be so possessed by your thoughts. Things come to you. Like I'm telling you, Jay. And
I've done it. I did it last year, mate. I know. And then I'll look back. I'm sorry to cut you off, but
that's fine.
I know this because I know that things were brought into my life because I let go and I went with the flow. I know this, but a case of actually you got a choice. Greg will tell me, go get the fuck over
practice. It's a practice. You've got to want to be free from the mental prison of your mind.
You got to I'll give it to you. I'll go even one step further. I say to, and Greg and Michael will fucking say the same thing. When you go to a point where I'm fucking sick of this shit.
That's it.
That's you know, when you get angry at someone, you're ready, you go, right, that's fine. But you get to a point where you go, I am fucking sick of this shit. It needs to fucking change. And you know, and you know in your heart that you got to change it. So I know, okay.
That's it.
I haven't touched a drink for fucking 2.5 years. Not that I was on alcohol or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I know for a fact how fucking unhappy I was. I used to get that that little hit. You know, I've never taken drugs or anything like that, but it was the grog and also the hit. My big thing. I don't give a fuck when I'll speak like you did, man. My big thing is love and affection, emotion. That's fucking. I get that. If I get a little bit of that from somebody, say a partner, okay, I want more of it because I haven't had it, and it's a fucking drug, and it's fucking killed me because it's basically I've sold my fucking soul to it. But with the I haven't touched a drink since I bloody nearly went to the fucking end of the earth with what I did. And I can't believe I fucking did what I did. It's just like the voice in my head just said, nah, kill the pain. Kill it. Kill the pain. Okay, all right. And I just kept going. And I got no fucking qualms about saying it. And fuck, mate, Jesus Christ. Excuse the cursing there, but that's I look back on it and I go, nah. Yeah, but then you make a choice, you know what I mean? You make a choice on that shit.
Well, this is you just answered your own question, Jay. You've answered your own question.
And you always do. You always do, though.
Isn't it like it's because I was someone that craved, and don't get me wrong, I still do. But when you sort of know, and we all know that to truly be happy with someone else, we have to feel whole in ourselves. We all know that.
Absolutely, 100%.
We all know that if two half whole people come together, it's not going to make one whole person.
That's right. It's a load of shit. That's right.
It's going to equal out your halves, and you're going to be none. So
that's right.
We all know we've got to feel whole, but like you said, if you've experienced things that have shown you the opposite, and then that's the thing that we search for in someone. So when we do find that one person that gives us that and shows us that, that's the thing we attach to because it makes us feel whole inside. We know that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But and you'd hope that that person doesn't abuse it.
Get your heart and just go.
Been there, mate. Fucking shit house.
Right, but that's where the awakening comes into play, and we have to look at this, what's happening to us as a game. So we either analyze the situation and say, right, does this person, does my friend, does my spouse, does my partner have my best interest at heart, right? And we feel whether that's true. And don't just feel it, don't just listen to the words, actions.
No,
actions.
I always have said actions speak louder than words with me. And you accept the person for what they are and you get to know someone, whatever it may be, and you look at it. But if someone doesn't sit right, you go, hang on a minute, it doesn't sit right with me here. And something's not right. Then you can question it. But again, you know, Yeah, and I guess it's basically, as you said, it's like riding a bike. You just got to keep using it, and saying, where are you at mental? I think, here we go. Here's the answer to that. Whereabouts are you mentally and connected to the universe, if you want to put it that way, to make the decision from your gut? Is your gut coming from fear, or is it coming from love? Here's another one for you, just to cut you off. We give a lot. I know I give a lot to other people. Why the fuck aren't I giving that to myself?
That's it.
Why the fuck aren't I? What? Here we go. Here's a couple $100, whatever. Right? We'll go money wise. Make it easier. It's a couple $100. Go do it. Oh, that makes me feel happy. Why the fuck can't I do that for me? And have that same. It's not about the money. It's a feeling.
Well, we know why.
No, we know why.
Because when we do know, this is it. We know. It's like the thing is, the more we neglect ourselves, I know the more I neglect myself, the unhappier I am, the unhappier my relationships are with everything.
Yep, 100%.
The more I work on myself, the happier I am, the happier my relationships are with everything.
Comes down to awareness too. I know that I guess it's been hard the last couple of months, or say 4 to 6 weeks, with all this shit that's been this turmoil, astrological, however you want to put it, and bringing up stuff and just going, no, it's not right, man. And you got to do that, but at the same time, you got to work with and say what you just said. You have to basically take the fucking bull by the horns and say, where the fuck am I going to be? Am I happy? No. Nothing wrong with compromising here and there. Well, I got my theory on compromises. Compromise is only something that comes between two people who fucking care for each other. Not changing. Compromise and changing someone's a different story. I have a big fucking problem with a lot of the way people go about, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. How does go fuck yourself? There's the door. Hope it hit you in the ass on the way out.
Of course, compromise is saying, right, I'm not gonna watch TV tonight. I'm gonna go and do this thing because she's really interested in that and she likes me to be there. That's a compromise. It compromises. I'm gonna eat a vegetarian dish tonight because babe's a vegetarian or my friend's a vegetarian. We're gonna go out and I'm gonna, that's a compromise.
That's a compromise. Not saying, okay, you've got long hair, I don't like long hair, but you want to be with me over there.
No, that is not a compromise.
But people fucking do it, men and fucking women. I reckon these blokes and these women should all get together and go and marry up each other, have fucking fun, so they can leave all the nice people to fucking do it. I say it all the fucking time. The bloody dickheads and the fucking other dickheads could all get together and go, you can go and fucking try and change and control each other. Leave the people who want to be themselves and let them get together and have fun.
Yeah, but why are we with these people? Why are these people in our life? They're in our life. We agree to meet these people before we even come into this reality. So people say you attract these people.
You know why? You know why? Because of the lessons. We need to learn.
We need to learn
a lesson. So we can listen.
There you go.
Leave the lesson. So you go, right, see you later, Jack. So yeah, but no, it's a big thing. But I think as you said, we're going through the shadow. We understand the shadow, and it's been a big thing. And when people do see this video, and we'll be getting this video live very, very quickly.
100%.
We'll get this video. We might even get this video right up. I'll probably do it tomorrow morning. I'm thinking that understanding these little bit of these questions that we have for each other and where we're at, and understanding that we do have choice, we do have freedoms within ourselves. We have a choice and freedom to make a choice of where we are and how we react. And don't worry, I look back and it's great to have this awareness. When you do make a mistake, because you do feel that's a mistake is how you react and how you do things, and you can be better. But at the same time, there's got to be a fucking balance where you can actually not stand up for yourself in a lot of ways. Take your power. You know what I mean? But now that you say that, here we go. See, I have to look at you and I'm fucking channeling. Fuck. you only give your power away when you give it a choice to give your power away again. So why the fuck, you know, you might go, oh, you're being a dickhead, I'm just going to walk off. Yeah, good. That's my choice. I go, and it's not being avoidance. It's being, okay, you calm down and whatever else has done that. I know myself, I get into a state of hysteria sometimes because I'm not being heard. That's my big thing, as I've been talking about. So I know when I don't hear, I hate being, you hate being thrown under the bus for something you've done. You've made a mistake. I don't like doing that. That's number one. And number two, not being heard and not even being acknowledged, just acknowledged. And that's a big thing. That's a real big thing for me when I was even younger. So that's where I came in and say, if you can't acknowledge where I'm at, I don't give a fuck if you like it or not, but I will acknowledge you for what it is. Okay. And if you're in my life, I go, yeah, right. You're not hurting me or whatever. It's not going to hurt me. Everyone's got a different opinion. But when you're not accepted for your opinion or not acknowledged, you go, this is different. And you can say, you don't really see this shit, do you? All right. Well, there's going to be a problem. You know what I mean? I can accept what you don't. I can accept you don't see it, but then there's a fucking problem here.
Do you know what? And this boils down to allowing our minds to label whatever we're going through as good or bad.
Yeah.
When we say I'm angry or I'm upset because this person, we're talking about the ego.
Fucking oath we do. Absolutely got to control our bloody ego because our soul's been hurt and we've been put into a certain program. Yeah, exactly. Keep going. Sorry.
So, spirit, right? Consciousness, the witnesser of our thoughts is thinking, what the fuck? Do you think spirit feels insecure?
Not at all.
Do you think spirit gives a fuck about materialism?
No, absolutely
not.
Do you think
spirit feels? Do you know what I mean? It's our minds, and when we are so possessed by the story we tell ourselves, that is when we are suffering.
I guess keep going. Sorry.
And it's like, sorry, it's just as simple as that, Jay. That's what I've been realizing this past 2 weeks. 2 weeks of my life, I have been fucking liberated inside. The inner peace I feel from not having to need anything other than to just be aware and witness the present moment. And I'm not like that all the time, don't get me wrong, because
but you got an awareness.
You have a balance. Yeah, I like to think.
Yeah,
you are aware.
Yeah,
you are aware.
See, people are always aware.
You're more aware in the present moment than you are when you're in because it's a different dimension.
Well, if you're in that bloody in that emotion, you can't. Let's be honest. You don't think straight. But then when you come out, at least you have the awareness and go, hang on a minute, that was a fucking waste of time.
Not even that. You come out of it and you don't think at all. Jay, there was no thought. There was no opinion on the situation. There was no thoughts about the situation. There was no nothing other than who you are.
You end up forgetting about it. You end up forgetting about it anyway. And you walk around and you go, okay, where's the next? We've shut that door, and then the next one's gone through. What the fuck did I? Why the fuck did I do it?
This is what I mean. So the alert presence, the awareness is what we all are building up to become, because the human race wasn't meant to be possessed by the ego. We were meant to use it as a tool. We're meant to use it to work things out. And then once we've done that, then we put it aside. We become present to the moment, and we enjoy our surroundings and just how beautiful and alive everything is. Like, it's simple objects. You can feel the energy if you are connected to the inside world of this dimension that exists for everyone, where suffering don't exist, Jay, because the mind, the ego, is not in it. It's alert presence, it's awareness. You don't have opinion about anything because you're not thinking. but you are more aware and alert than you ever have been. You appreciate things when you were looking at what you're looking at. You're looking through it through the eyes of source, through the eyes of God, Allah, Buddha, Krishna, and whoever you want to call,
whoever the fuck it is. Yeah, exactly.
That is who you are at that precise moment in time, because you're not possessed by the mind. You're not possessed by the ego. There were no thoughts. There were no opinions. There were no judgments about what you are observing, apart from just pure positive awareness. So when I now look at my partner and I'm in that state of being, the amount of loving energy I feel for her is unbelievable. And that's because there's no resistance on what and it's crazy. And it's just something that I believe a lot of us need to sort of integrate into our lives day by day, is being slowing the mind down to the point where you have space in between thoughts for a start. And it's just being aware, being present, focus on your sense perceptions, focus on your hand, see if you can sense the energy in your hand, see if you can sense, you know what I mean? And then once you get better at it and better at it, you become more spacious in between thoughts, and the peacefulness that comes over you, because there's no resistance, there's no thinking about or worrying about, and if you think about it, Jay, our minds are always either thinking about the past or the future. Think about it. Everything we think about is either something that's happened to us,
and we bring it up because it's for whatever fucking reason. I mean, it's absolutely fucking ridiculous. Let's be honest. It's like bringing up, I don't know, you bring something up because I felt that way. Yeah, but as Greg Riley said today in his video, if you're looking to have a relationship or have someone in your life to fucking fix something in your past, fucking give it up. You've got to fucking work it out your fucking self. And it's a big 100%. Thing. It's huge, but yeah.
100%.
All right. Well,
I hope viewers have enjoyed this.
This is an impromptu chat, and I think it was fucking very good. And we're swearing a lot, but who gives a shit?
I don't believe it. It's raw. It's just raw. It's just what we are feeling, what we are going through, our beliefs, our opinions, and about the situation. This
absolutely
might not be what you lot feel, but if you do resonate with this sort of stuff, then all the better, because this is what we are doing this for.
Well, this is it. So basically, it's like when I do my White Warrior journey of a white feather. If you take one word, one verse, or one video, if that helps you in any way, just to come together and go, okay, I might be feeling that. It's good. It's a good point. That's all you want. It doesn't matter if you're bloody. It doesn't matter if you're Ronald Reagan, if you're bloody Roger Federer, if you're Serena Williams, or whoever it may be, Cortez Medford. If you hear something, and the other thing is, I really believe in. You got to believe in the flow, and you got to believe that something comes to you when you need to hear it. I'm fucking huge in messages.
That's right.
Whether it be physical messages or whether it be a given, sometimes whatever message it is, if you're open to it, which I am much more these days, you can feel it.
100%.
All right, guys. Well, stay on the line. We'll chat after we stop the recording. But I hope you enjoyed that, ladies and gentlemen, and this will be up in the next day or two. And yeah, stay safe, drink your water, and always when you're running around Gotham City in the Batmobile, make sure you catch the Joker and put him back in Arkham Asylum. Take care, guys.
Wicked. Thank you.
Take care. See ya.